You don't need a knight in shining armor, but you do. Is that Kathy Hilton? She's here? What? Why didn't anybody tell me? Oh no, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Raphael and I'm here to review part 3 of the reunion to season 13 of The Real Housewives, avoiding every single question of Beverly Hills. We start the last part of the reunion right where we left off with Sutton accusing Kyle of being a bad friend to her. Kyle, of course, she doesn't remember her behavior for the past 2 seasons. And she's like, what are you talking about? I've never been a bad friend to you. Show me when. Sutton, she's like, just like Denise said, watch the show. Andy, he got sick of this. So he's like, you know what? What's going to happen now between both of you? And then surprisingly, Sutton and Kyle, they're both like, I think that we'll both be good. We need each other to be each other's storyline for next season, so I think we'll be able to move on from this. And then they get up because I think Andy tells them, can both of you hug it out? And I don't know, if I was Sutton, the way Kyle was acting and treating me this whole reunion so far, I don't know if I'll be so comfortable to just hug her so quickly because they get up, and if I was Sutton, I'll proceed with caution. I'll be like, okay, Kyle, come over here. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? You want to swing? You want to fight? What do you mean? I saw your hand go up. Oh, you just want to hug? Oh, okay. Garcelle and Crystal, be ready just in case. I think Erica's going to get up and try to jump me. Be ready, okay? You sure you don't want to fight? Oh, okay, come over here. Oh, Kyle, I miss you, you fake-ass bitch. I can't stand you or your sister, Kathy. You look so pretty in your green dress. And they sit down, and I'm like... Just like Dorit and Erica, they were looking at this like, okay, again, after everything that Kyle basically accused you of and everything that she was saying to you so far, this is how it goes down. But again, this is the Real Housewives. We have to move on, right? So then Andy drops a bomb and he tells Kyle, your friend is going to be out here soon. And I'm like, is Morgan coming out? Like, finally, we get to hear her side of the story. But then he drops another disappointment bomb after that. And he's like, oh, is Kathy Hilton ready yet? And I'm like... Okay, and it was funny because Sutton, I don't know, your behavior, the second that she heard that Kathy was coming, she started looking at Garcelle started looking at her, Sutton, she started sweating like, all of a sudden that smile just went out the window. And I'm like, what's going on, Sutton? Meanwhile, Kathy Hilton, she is me. She's doing a whole photo shoot backstage. She's taking a bunch of pictures. By the way, for the past 2 reviews, I've been doing reunion look inspires. First it was Dorit, then it was Sutton. For this part, I was going to do Garcelle, but time management didn't allow me. So instead, I took something out the archive that I haven't worn yet. So this is a recreation of the Mugler bodysuit that all the housewives have. I have one in blue. I wore it for one of my Potomac reviews, and now I'm wearing the black one for this review, for the reunion. So Kathy, she's coming out. She's running to the stage in her Hillary Clinton high heels. As for her look, I'm not crazy about the look, but her hair does look nice. She looks pretty, so I'll give her that. So then they have her sit in the second chair next to Kyle. And if I'm Erica, me and my pointy shoulders are not moving for Kathy. I'm on the show. She's a guest. She should be sitting next to Dr. Anne-Marie, not in my seat. If anything, I would have told Kathy, Kathy, I'm sorry, you're going to have to sit on Dorit. Or, I'm pretty sure that she has room inside that red blanket that she's wearing that you could scoot inside of or whatever, but I'm not moving. He asks Erica, who do you think on stage is scared of Kathy Hilton specifically? Erica, she starts off and she's like, well, Kathy Hilton, she is Beverly Hills. She has a lot of events. She knows everybody. She is Beverly Hills. So I'm pretty sure that people do not want to be on her bad side. The second that she started going on, I feel like she was about to lead into Sutton or somebody else on the show. But then Sutton, out of nowhere, Sutton, first of all, Sutton, I wish a lady that was elevated like 2 inches off the ground because of her shoes did put fear in my heart. Because Kathy Hilton, again, she could have money. She could have the name. But who is she to scare me like that? Because I feel like Sutton was scared. Sutton, she looked over and then she knew where this conversation was going. She knew that Kathy was going to come for her. Why? Because of the whole situation that she said to Kyle at the dinner party. Your sister, she called me, she yelled at me. I feel like Kathy was going to confront her about that, and Sutton was not prepared for that. And she was not ready to be embarrassed by Kathy of all people. But, you took on Kyle. I'm pretty sure that Kathy is nothing, but... Okay, out of nowhere, Sutton, she starts feeling woozy. She falls over next to Garcelle, and Garcelle is just like, whoa, what's going on? What's happening? What's happening? She's falling over. The paramedics came, and Andy, he's getting up. Andy, he pulls Elisa Barlow. He starts saying, oh my God, she's shaking, she's physically shaking. And I'm like, Andy, relax. The paramedics, they come. Dr. Anne Marie, did anybody hear what she said? She got up, she went over, trying to get some camera time. She's looking at Sutton and she's like, oh my gosh, somebody needs to call 911. Here goes the paramedic. Nobody needs to call 911. As soon as the paramedic would have said that to me, I would have sat my ass down and just cried. Like, okay, fine. I can't have anything on this damn show. Just so rude. But Sutton, she fell over. They're like, oh, she has high blood pressure. She's feeling hot. Kathy, did anybody hear what she said? Oh, you're 49. 49? I even had to Google her address, her age. She's like 52 or something like that. I'm like, she is not 49. But Kathy, she's like, oh, Sutton, you're 49. Hot flashes are meant to be a thing. And I'm like, you see this lady faking it. I mean, you see this lady, falling over. She's not feeling good. And that's what you have to say? But Sutton, she's all over the floor, all over the couch. Garcelle's trying to take care of her. Everybody's coming to Sutton. And do I believe it? Absolutely not. And that's not to disregard anything that Sutton is going through, if she actually went through anything, but I don't believe it. I feel like genuinely her blood pressure was high, but not because it was hot or any of that. It was because of Kathy Hilton. Sutton knew that, but she didn't expect Kathy to show up at the reunion. So now she's falling over. They're trying to take care of her. Meanwhile, Erica and Kathy, they're having a whole casual conversation as if nothing's going on stage. Erica, she's like, so, how was Christmas? How were the holidays? And I'm like, Erica, like, damn, even Dorit was standing up. Well, Dorit just wants somebody to look at her in her outfit, right? Dorit is standing up. Even she looks concerned over Sutton. But Erica and Kathy, they're just talking about the holidays. Kathy, she's just going through her phone like, well, the holidays were okay. I got a lot of gifts, but, I already have everything because I'm rich. So, there's really nothing else that I can get. But, yeah, I still have my Christmas tree up. And I'm like, again, Sutton is over here basically fainting. Yeah, we don't care, right? And, after that, Sutton eventually gets walked off stage. Garcelle, she's like, yeah, this reunion is getting boring already. We don't need 3 parts, so I'm coming with Sutton. So they go backstage to get some orange juice and a banana. Garcelle, she's like, you need to eat this. Sutton is just like, no, I already ate a banana earlier. You need to eat this. And Sutton, she takes the banana. She's like, okay, daddy, damn. So that's that. Back on stage. Crystal finally, and probably the only time, she gets the first chair. It's her and Anna Marie on the right side of the couch. And as soon as Sutton and Garcelle left the reunion, the whole show, because it became the Real Housewives of Beverly Kyle. Because Kyle, it was all about her and this whole situation with her and Morgan and Mauricio. And spoiler alert, we did not learn anything new that we already didn't know about Kyle withholding all this information about her marriage and Morgan and that relationship. So this whole reunion, this third part was just completely pointless. It could have been an email or a flyer or a tweet. But Crystal, she has the first chair. And Crystal, what a disappointment performance. Because if I'm Crystal, I would have started yelling random things at Kyle just to get a reaction. I would have been like, Kyle, I don't like your green dress. I think that you're a terrible friend to Sutton. My brother has a new wife. Yeah. Do something. But Crystal, all she did was just stay quiet for the first chair. And you had the first chair for 45 minutes and you blew it. So then Kathy, she starts whispering to Kyle, Sutton knew better to leave this reunion because she knew that I was coming for her. And you see that right there, she was not joking about that. Kathy, she could play, I said it many times before, she could play this whole, oh, I'm so ditzy, I don't know any better. Who's honky-dory? I'm so goofy and bubbly, blah, blah, blah. All of that is a bunch of bullshit. Kathy is a monster deep down inside, allegedly. I've said it before, all you have to do is just watch Paris Hilton's documentary that she did many, many, many years ago with Kathy and that whole relationship, and that will show you who Kathy really is. All this whole, oh, I'm just this good innocent lady who just, bakes cookies and wears these, old lady clothes or whatever with 2-inch high heels. All of that is just an act. So she can't fool me. She was coming for Sutton. Kyle, they started talking about Mauricio and, the agency and how that kind of put a rift in the relationship between her, Kathy, and, everybody. And basically Kathy explained that, her husband, Rick, when Mauricio left their business, he wanted to start his own, but the only rule was do not approach any of the employees that I currently have. Mauricio, he said, F your rules, I'm still gonna try, and he did, and that caused a wedge between everybody. And I mean, Honestly, they all should have known better because you should never mix business with family and friends. Like, it just gets very sticky, and then respect goes out the window, and now you're in this situation. And Kyle, this was one of many attempts of her trying to stop the whole conversation because she keeps telling Kathy, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. And I'm like, okay, Giselle Bryant. Like, she just kept going on and on and on about how she doesn't want to talk about anything. And I'm like, okay, Kyle, what do you want to talk about then? Andy asks Kyle and Kathy, how do they rekindle their relationship? Kathy starts crying. Okay, so they hug and then they move on to Kyle. Kyle, when exactly did things change between you and Mauricio? And this is where Kyle, she took out her shield and she was avoiding every single question and every single answer. And she does this weird thing with her voice because she started crying. She started, getting emotional. And she's like, it's just this situation with me and Mauricio. I've tried my best and everything. And, it wasn't good enough. And it really pains me that, what we're going through. And I'm like, okay, but the question was, when did things change between you and Mauricio? Kyle, again, she continues, the sky is blue and the clouds are white. I like flowers and I like ketchup on my cheeseburger. And, that's what happened between me and Mauricio. And I'm like, Kyle, again, she's giving us all these fun facts about herself, except answering the damn question. So Andy said, well, okay, so you said in the confessional that you lost trust in him. When exactly did you lose trust in Mauricio? Here goes Kyle. I was trying to be a good wife to Mauricio, and we were trying to have a good relationship, but I'm not really sure what happened. We're still a good family, though. And I'm like, again, Kyle, that is not the question. And then Andy, he had enough. And he was just like, okay, so-and-so wants to know what exactly happened between you and Mauricio. And why don't you just spit it out already? Kyle had the nerve to say, well, you know what? It's none of anybody's fucking business. You could have fooled me. I could have swore that the whole premise of the whole show is to get on the show, to show your real life, and now it's nobody's business. Yet again, like I've been saying for the past 2 reviews, you're the same one. You're the same hypocrite that you always demand everybody else to share their life, to be honest. But now you, according to you, anything that's going on in your personal life with your marriage is nobody's business. So when you wanted to know about Brandy and who she was sleeping with, was it anybody's business then? Because obviously you were ready with all the questions back then, right? But okay, now things changed, right? So then I believe they started talking about, the Dancing with the Stars show that Mauricio was on, and how did she feel about seeing Mauricio with another woman and holding hands and stuff. Erica, she jumps in it and she's like, well, I mean, for Dancing with the Stars, that's a very physical contact type of show. Of course you're going to be pelvis to pelvis, penis to vagina, titty to titty, chest to chest. Of course that's going to be a thing. I wouldn't get jealous over that. And I'm like, okay, thank you for your fun fact, Erica. And then he asks Dorit, how would you feel, if you saw Mauricio or, you saw your husband or whatever holding hands with his partner? Dorit, she goes on to say, well, honestly, Andy, I mean, if PK, I would be devastated if I saw PK holding hands with another woman. I'd be devastated, Andy. And I'm like, Dorit, I promise you, nobody's fighting to get with PK. You could keep him. Like, nobody wants that man. But Kyle, she's like, yeah, I was really devastated. I can't believe that. And then when he was on vacation, what I really want to know is, how did she feel about the whole relationship that he had, or whatever he had going on with the Brazilian singer, Anitta? Because there's rumors allegedly that they both had a thing. In the videos in Aspen, they kept it very vague, but they didn't mention her name specifically. That's what I really want to know. Kyle, she's like, yeah, I didn't really like that. I just felt that was disrespectful, especially if we're living together underneath the same roof. And that's that. But again, Kyle didn't answer anything about her and Mauricio. What led her to feel some type of way about him? Why did she lose trust? None of that. Andy finally brings up the magic topic, Morgan. So Kyle, what's going on between you and Morgan? What's the history there? Both of you were seen kissing in her music video. Tell us about that. Kyle explains that she only agreed to be in her music video. In return, Morgan was going to come perform at Lorraine's event that Kyle was having for her. And then she says, oh, well, we were just kissing in the music video because, well, that's the direction that she wanted to go in. And I just kind of agreed, like, sure, why not? But then the footage that they showed us, a flashback of both her and Morgan doing an interview, it showed Kyle actually saying, well, I mean, if all these headlines are going to talk about me and you being together, we might as well give them something to talk about. AKA let's kiss in the music video and make it look like we're together. But now here you're telling us something different. So which one is it, Kyle? Like, just, I don't know, your story's not adding up. And she says that her and Morgan are just cool, they're just friends, that's that. You know, I love her music, that's that. And I'm like, but I could have swore that you also said that you met Morgan because you were stalking her on Instagram and you just decided to message her. But now you have this whole different backstory with you and Morgan. I don't know, it's not making sense, Kyle. So then Andy asks everybody, so who here thought that that Morgan and Kyle were together? Crystal, the first chair. Crystal, she's like, I did. And I'm like, yes, Crystal, yes, give us something. And Kathy was trying to shake her up. She's like, oh, really? Did you mean like in a friendly way or like in a more serious way? And I'm like, I said that I thought that they were going to be together. You mind your business. Crystal, she's like, I'm sorry, Kathy, I'll never go against your sister Kyle ever again. I'm sorry, Andy, I meant to say that, yeah, I just thought that they were both just friends. You know, Kathy, do you like my answer? I'm sorry. I'm like, Crystal, not you too, also being afraid of this lady, like, ugh. But for the most part, everybody agreed that they all thought that Morgan and Kyle were a thing. Kyle, she goes on to say, well, I mean, I think that she's hot. Do I have feelings for her? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. And you know what? Honestly, we can't even force Kyle to even, you know, come out if that's the direction that she wants to go in. I mean, I'll be here for it with her and Morgan being a thing because look how Kyle lights up like a damn firework. But for the most part, that was it. Kyle didn't really say anything else about Morgan or her situation with Mauricio, the divorce, nothing. She kept it very vague, very above surface. And I'm like, okay. And then next thing you know, Andy's like, okay, so, you know, let's do our last final speeches. And I'm like, wait, the reunion is over already? Hold on. And I'm like, it's over already? We honestly did not need this last part. Sutton and Garcelle, they're on their way to Mexico. I mean, to the hospital because Sutton allegedly feels bad or whatever. And that was that. Apparently Merce, you know, they have his ashes here on the couch. And I could have swore, correct me if I'm wrong, I could have swore that that Merce was somewhere in Spain swimming with the fishes. But okay, maybe I got the wrong person, or the wrong ashes. But eventually everybody goes around to do their speeches. Crystal, she goes on to say, well, you know, I learned this season that I need to use my voice if I want to have a contract for next season. Because so far the audience thinks that I'm boring. Anna Marie, she says, Erica, she says, Dorit, she goes on to give this long-winded explanation, basically being shady to either Kyle or Garcelle. She's like, you know what, I realized Andy, and Andy, he's like, that was me by the end of this whole reunion. I'm like, okay, Dorit, we can wrap it up. You know, let's wrap it up like the hoodie that you have on. But Dorit, she goes on to say, you know, I learned that no matter what, if somebody's trying to be nice to me, that sometimes it's not genuine. And I cannot be friends with anybody who's just like that towards me. I have to open up my eyes a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then Kathy, she gave her little, you know, two, you know, words. Kyle, you know, Kyle was Kyle, and he gave a speech, and that was that. That concluded the entire reunion. And, you know, it's kind of bittersweet the way the reunion ended because we started at such a high, and then somewhere, you know, towards the end, it kind of just round down the toilet. But, you know, it's always so bittersweet when a season of Housewives is officially over. Now we've gone through all the episodes. We've gone through all the reunion parts, the unnecessary parts as well. And now we're officially done. So thank you all so very much for sticking with me this entire season, for watching my reviews, leaving your comments, your opinions, your just everything, all your love. I really appreciate it. And it's so bittersweet. You know, the Housewives of Beverly Hills is over. And now, you know, we still have the Real Housewives of Potomac. The reunion is coming up soon. So we have that. So, you know, but until next time, you know, we'll talk soon, my baby, okay? I'm gonna go be with my bubba. Anyways, let me know what you all thought about this entire reunion down in the comments. Bye, my babies. Mwah.